Welcome, everybody, to another edition of BadgerBlitz TV. I am Jay Kokorowski, senior writer at BadgerBlitz.com. Of course, part of the Rivals Network, bringing you everything about Wisconsin Badgers football, recruiting, basketball, and much more. And, as we know, we have started this BadgerBlitz TV revamp in the past week. And guess what, folks? Bringing on, we've had some people, some Badgers of present on our YouTube channel. We've had some Badgers of the future with Miles Burkett, the 2022 quarterback. We talked with him on Thursday night. Guess what? We have Badgers of the past and recent past, for that matter. You may know him as number 97 for the Wisconsin Badgers, now with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Folks, we were happy to have on Isaiahh Loudermilk. Isaiahh, thank you for jumping on BadgerBlitz TV. And gosh, man, I guess I know you have to deal with me the next 10 minutes or so, but just how's the off season treating you? How's the off week treating you, as a professional?
Much needed so far. We've gone 10 weeks counting the all the preseason games in a row, just kind of moving. So kind of having this week off for our bye week is definitely much needed for the body and mind. I've just been relaxing, so it's pretty much what I'll do. Make sure to stay in shape, but definitely happy the off season's. Not off season, the bye weeks here.
So going back, man, let's talk about your. I didn't get a chance to talk to you right after your draft. I talked to you during Pro Day, right before Pro Day, I should say. Just going back to the spring. You hear your name drafted in the 5th round of the 2021 NFL draft. Set the scene for us, man. What's going through your head when you get the phone call? Where'd you get it? What are your emotions? Who's around you to celebrate you being selected by the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, it was actually kind of a funny story because I wasn't expecting to go at that time, so no one was ready. We hadn't even gone to, because I was having a little draft day party at our local pizza place. And we were probably about to leave in probably an hour after I got the call, because I wasn't expecting to go that early. So my whole family was scattered. My mom was out working on the car, and it was me, my girlfriend, brother, and sister just sitting in the living room. And I got a call, and I kind of walked off to take it just because I didn't think it was going to be anything, and it happened to be Coach Tomlin. So then I kind of ran around trying to get the family all together and let them know. So it was kind of hectic at the time, but then once we got to the pizza place and my whole family was around, it was probably one of the better feelings I've ever had.
I'd say with that too, man, it's overall. I'm just taking a look at some of these stats, and you may not be seeing them up on your screen, but here we got this one over here. 5th round draft pick over, by the Steelers. You've played in 5 games so far, according to the stats, in 2021. A couple tackles, 1 pass defended. You made your NFL debut against Alec Ingold, your former teammate, in the Las Vegas Raiders in Week 2 this season. But you also have some former Badgers on on your roster. Joe Schobert, who was just acquired via trade. You have T.J. and Derek Watt, and so I guess overall, just how's the overall transition been for you? From going from college to the NFL in your first season.
Yeah, so far, for me, it's been pretty smooth, especially on when it comes to football and our kind of defensive scheme. It's been a lot smoother than I thought it would be, mainly because when I came in and kind of looked at the playbook and everything, it was extremely similar, some of the exact same stuff I had been running the last 4 years. So when it comes to scheme and kind of the football side, the transition was pretty smooth. And then, of course, there's adjusting to, a completely different speed of football. O-linemen are just different. But then kind of the professional lifestyle, kind of making sure I'm taking care of myself, doing everything I can for my body because I'm, it's kind of more you're on your own now. But, so far the adjustment's been easy. And then having some Badgers on the team, too, definitely helps, too. We got 4 of them, so kind of a big presence in the locker room.
Let's say, too, what's been in your eyes, the most challenging part of adapting to the NFL? You listed all those transitions, but what's been the most challenging in your eyes?
I would say for me is it's really the speed of the game, because all the mental stuff I've been able to really adjust to pretty fast. Making sure I'm not making any mental mistakes or anything like that. Kind of all the off the field stuff has been pretty easy for me. So I would say really just catching up to that speed. It's the same game, but the speed is ramped up a lot. The physicality is ramped up. So, just kind of seeing how and what it means to be an NFL D lineman was definitely an adjustment at first. But I feel like, with the help of some of the guys in the locker room, Haywood, to it, some of the older guys like that, they've really helped me out, and seeing certain things and kind of fixing my game.
When you're going, taking us through this, I know I'm taking you through some flashbacks, but your NFL debut in week 2, like I said, went up against Alec Ingold, one of your former teammates, the Las Vegas Raiders. When you get on the field, what are your emotions when you step onto that field for a regular season game? Like, you are, you made the team, you are an NFL player, and now you are in game time action. What's going through your head?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, when I stepped out there, it was just football. Kind of when I stepped off to the sidelines before the game and after the game, I kind of had a chance to kind of take it all in. I'm actually playing in a regular season game, an NFL game, something I dreamed of. But, when I'm out there, everything moves so fast, and I got to be so locked in all the time that, I never really have a chance to look across the line and see somebody and be like, oh my gosh. It did happen once towards the end of the game of the Packers. Kind of look over at Aaron Rodgers. I was like, wow, that's Aaron Rodgers. but other than that one, normally it's when I'm on the sidelines or before or after the games, I'm kind of taking it in. But it's all seriousness when I'm out there on the field.
I was going to ask you about this too, Isaiah. Too, in terms of, you talked about having some former Badgers on your team and whatnot. Do you all get a chance to watch the games? Like, how is it being surrounded by players like that, where you have, I think, were you around for 2016 with T.J. Watt, right? But I think Schobert and Derek Watt both were a year before you. But just how is it having the former Badgers surrounding you with that? I know you said to kind of like run the locker room, but also just, are you guys able to watch games and kind of just talk about the current team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's great to have kind of some familiar faces around, especially TJ, because my first year in college was his final year, so I kind of got to know him a little bit there, and then we've just kind of been able to expand on that a little bit. But we'll always chat about the games before and after, just kind of our thoughts. Talk certain bets we put down with some guys and stuff like that, but. We haven't really watched any games together, just kind of chatting about them.
And then, I guess too, when it comes to just Wisconsin, and you guys probably saw my kid in the background there running around. This is the beauty of recording live video. But kind of going back to your career at Wisconsin. I don't know if you see this slide or not, but it's 40 career games. You had 26 starts at defensive end, 63 total tackles, 11.5 for loss, 7.5 sacks, a couple forced fumbles, 9 pass breakups, and last year you were named third team All Big Ten selection by the media. I guess when it comes to that, have you had a chance to look back on your Wisconsin career a little bit more, and what do you gather from your time in Madison?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of time to kind of look back, and I think about it a lot too, when I'm watching the guys, because some of my best friends are still on the team, and they're still making a big impact. I still talk to them, so I'll kind of look back and be like, gosh, definitely miss playing in Madison, especially with the fans, because my last year we didn't have any fans. There was no jump around, nothing like that. So, it's been 2 years since I was able to experience, really all that, but. Looking back on it, I'm just happy with the career I had. Definitely had fun, made some of the best friends, and played some pretty good football while I was there too. So looking back on my career, I just couldn't be happier of the experience that I had.
With that too, who do you still keep in touch with, for that matter, from the team at the moment?
hmm so the people I lived with, so Jack Dunn, Noah Burks, who just got engaged. Congrats. um, Mikey Mascalunas, and then a lot of the guys on the D line, Keeanu, Benton. I still text him before games. I tell him all the time I'm gonna see him in the league real soon because that man's a beast. Matt Henningsen, Isaiah Mullins, just kind of the guys I lived with, and then the people who were in the same room as me. I make sure I keep up with.
I'm taking a look through some old pictures right now of, I mean, I don't know if you see it on the screen or not, but there's pictures. I'm showing pictures of you and Matt Henningsen and Jack Sanborn celebrating. You've seen Matt Henningsen and, Keeanu, Benton, for that matter, both players standing out on defensive line. Have you had a chance to really take a look at, have you been able to watch their games at all or see their performances, and just how do you feel they've stood out with, your former strength and conditioning coach, now defensive line coach Ross Kalaji, leading them?
Yeah. I mean, I'm absolutely loving what I'm seeing from them. When I watch the games, of course, I can't take my eyes off what the D line's doing. I'm always sitting there like analyzing things. It's a lot more difficult to kind of watch and enjoy football, but I've absolutely loved what I've been seeing from those guys. Even some of the younger guys who have been stepping up. Rodas Johnson, Mullins has definitely made a huge leap from last year to this year. And then, of course, Hendog and Keeanu have just been killing it. But, those two, especially, Hendog and Mullins, they're just making plays all over the place. So, anytime they make a play, I'm jumping up. I'm happy as can be. So I've definitely liked what I've seen from that group.
With that, too, I guess, I know there's a lot of talk, even talking to someone like, I would say Rodas brought it up first, and then talking to Matt Henningsen about it during fall camp. There's a little bit more of look like a philosophical type change, a little bit more where they're able to penetrate more and maybe not just eating up a lot of the gaps. Are you seeing that too? Like, what do you see out of, as a defensive lineman? What do you see out of like what maybe has changed a little bit for Wisconsin?
Yeah, I can definitely tell. Kind of up front, it's still the same style, but I can tell that they're kind of letting loose a little bit more. We were a huge two-gap team. Make sure we run our gaps, which is, it's kind of what I'm doing now too. But I can definitely tell since Coach K's taken over, those guys up front are shooting gaps. They're doing things a little bit differently. It's not just two-gap every single time. So. I've even talked to those guys, and they're like, "Yeah, like we're kind of letting loose a little bit. It's been fun, been exciting." So, I'm just excited, and I've been having fun watching them kind of play that different style of defensive line.
So a couple more questions. We'll get you out of here, Isaiah. First off, talk about the Kansas Jayhawk cap. We talked about it before we started recording, but your brother is on the team now, at Kansas, and not for football, but you said for track. It is the family tradition of being college student athletes continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, my whole family grew up diehard KU fans, and then of course that kind of switched when I went to Wisconsin. All my family was Wisconsin fans, and then my brother, he's a freshman right now at KU for high jump. So, I kind of broke out some of the old KU stuff back out. I got some old shirts, some sweaters and stuff, just to kind of show my support of him too. So, I still have all my Wisconsin beanies and stuff like that too, but I got to mix it in now.
I guess with that too, with the NFL, last question for you, just I guess overall as a rookie, just what's been the most, I guess I'll put it this way, in terms of what's been the most intriguing experience, the most interesting experience you've had so far as an NFL rookie, heading into this latter part of the season?
Most interesting. So far everything's just been football. I would say just kind of, it's a different, almost different lifestyle. Some of those away games, I was always used to, we would travel and boom, we're in the hotel. You don't leave the hotel. but now it's kind of, we're professionals. We get there, and then it's kind of up to us what we do. So sometimes guys will go out to different steakhouses, different places to eat. So it's kind of just more, everything's kind of more open. You're more free. And I've kind of been adjusting to that because I'm used to, if I'm at the hotel, I have to be here. Like, I can't really explore. But it's a lot different now. You're a professional, so they kind of let you do what you need to do. You just got to make sure you're doing the right thing. But I'd say it's probably been the most interesting to me is that kind of switch.
Isaiah, man, it's great catching up with you, man. I know it's been a while since I think Pro Day since we last. We weren't even able to make it there to attend that, but I was able to talk to you beforehand. It's great catching up with you. Continued success in the NFL, man. And we thank you so much for making time for us today on Badger Blitz TV.
Awesome. I appreciate you setting this up. It was good to just chat again.
Awesome. And, folks, real quick before we end the recording, make sure you guys, we're going to have a lot more of this. Please subscribe to our YouTube page, Badger Blitz. Just search that. You're listening right now. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Why? Because that helps us get more, obviously boosts us up and lets people know that we're doing good content. Follow us on Twitter, also on Facebook as well. Search Wisconsin Badgers on Badger Blitz TV. Thanks again to just really a big thanks to Isaiahh Loudermilk for joining us once again. I'm Jay Kokorowski from Badger Blitz TV. Folks, we'll catch you later this week for more here on Badger Blitz TV and the Badger Blitz YouTube channel.